Well, we'll need to welcome you back, and we'll see the big story for today. We're talking about World Teachers Day, and that celebration every 5th of October every year. And this year's celebration is also dwelled on the teachers we need for the education we want for our children, and that's how it is. But as much as we're looking at for that very education, we should also educate them in the way of morals and discipline. We seem to not be there anymore. But anyway, they're still right here with me in the studios, and we're looking at it as much as we're also looking at the challenges that teachers of recent times seem to be going through. But anyway, we'll go through more with the discussion, but we need to go and get a message from our sponsors. And we're talking about Benita Gas, located right here in Ogeli, Okokoko, and Warrior Environs. And when we come back, more discussion centered on the big story for today.
Oh, yeah, follow the road, auto better quality. If you dey talk gas matter, oh yeah, follow Beneta. Gas with the better quality, Beneta gas. Where they full rich man to Beneta gas. Every brother na sharpal, Beneta gas. Beneta gas, no mango, Beneta gas. Get different type of gas cylinder. I mean, I don't gas we go last you well, Beneta gas. Beneta now do Beneta gas. Service in a them they run Beneta gas. Make you carry go
for gas matter and home delivery. Make you wire Beneta gas plant for 080-6745-7890 and 080-5904-7722. Beneta gas plant, the etequele of gas matters.
Now, we need to welcome you back, and that's a lovely message from our sponsors. But you do know the big story is big enough to accommodate all your businesses. All you need to do, come over and let's see how I can talk business. But anyway, we need to talk about it and also celebrate them in our best way. And we're talking about teachers and how far they've come, especially in the most populous black nation on the planet. According to the recent statistics, but we have about 2.3 million teachers, according to the TRCN, in 2023. And the far cry, registered teachers, that's what I mean, definitely a far cry from where it should be. But anyway, we're still with the discussion and looking at it. Before I went on the break, in case you're just joining us, we looked at the challenges that the teachers are facing and how come they're always waiting to go to heaven for their reward. The mining, every other person, politicians and the rest, seem to have their reward right here. But anyway, let's leave the reward and talk more about the issues. And I need to also continue with you, Comrade Kevin Ojomodo, and we'll quickly go to it. Now, if you recall, on the 5th of October 2020, will be regarded as one of the best times for teachers in recent time, because that was when former President Muhammad Buhari unveiled a new teacher salary scheme. And that's the last time we heard of any beautiful things coming to teachers in recent times. But let's still look at it. Because before we went on the break, we talked about priority, especially as it concerns the educational sector and how that seems to be lacking. What should the government do about this? And then how can we bring back that passion, bring back those glory days? Because I could still remember those stories my dad seemed to tell me. They seem to give those teachers that feeling of their heroes. But these days, I doubt if that's the case. And all was centered on how they were looked at. And teachers then were looked at even far better than the traditional rulers of their schools at their time. And that's how it was as of then. But now it's really, really appalling. How can the government change that narrative?
The first is simple. Simply put, give more attention to education. Increase the budget. In your appropriation, when you are putting huge money in defense, health, education should carry the highest of it. Because you can't give what you don't have. It's garbage in, garbage out. You cut corners, the corners will come back and cut you also in society. Hence, we're having more deviance in our society, more people with social vices, more issues with our youth, restiveness. Because nobody settles them in the school environment. Now we have cultism in primary schools. Teacher flogs them, they gang up and beat the teacher at home. They are court members now in primary schools, but in secondary schools. The government has failed woefully to give people's attention to what welfareism of teachers, to the teaching environment itself. We've seen teachers in the river communities learning and students learning under water coming from the roof. How can somebody learn in that kind of environment? We've seen teachers being kidnapped and nothing happened. Some teachers were being flogged by parents that they disciplined the parents of their children. The parents came to the school, flogged the teachers, and get them arrested. The Ministry of Education and the government never came to the aid of the teachers. You must appraise a teacher for moral boost.
Yeah.
If you don't appraise a place, everybody needs praises. Outside the praise, you give them a little appraisal, even your work environment. You do monthly appraisal, you do yearly appraisal, you do weekly appraisal. It makes the staff, everybody to work, to sit up. So my career, the best staff for this month, and the company has like 50,000 to your money when you are going home with a small award. You come back the next month, you want to do giving your extra best in any form you can. That's the same thing the government ought to do to education. Give priority to our teachers. One, they should be well paid and well secured. Two, the learning environment must be conducive. Then teaching aids. You can't tell me now we an ICT in the whole of South, how many ICT centers do we have? Yeah. And how many computers to a student? Not the one to pack, then that to pack us to a lab. We are 50 with one computer. So say this is CPU. This is central processing unit. It's none of us that can see. The only people at the front that will say CPU, okay. Central processing unit, okay. This is algorithm. This, that, and all that. We don't even understand what they are saying. But if you give one student to a computer, then he will able to settle down and understand.
Can that ever be possible here?
I just wanted to say something. I really love when you said it's a system failure, and when you said something about you cannot give what you don't have, that really sat down perfectly beautiful with me. Again, it's a system failure. If you have not had a direct impact of the benefits of education and the fruits of education as a leader yourself, you have not gone through all of these processes of education, you have not, when I say the impact, the product of education has not made you, it has not refined you, it has not formed you. It is going to be almost impossible for anybody to tell you or to make you see why it is important to invest in education as a leader. Now, a leader who has gone through core quality education, you have passed through the levels, and then you are now sitting in the position as a leader. It is very, very easy to implement all of these policies because you have seen it, you have been through it, you have been there and done that. You understand? So, again, I'm not too big on politics, but the quality of leaders that we select is another issue. You don't go to bring a man from the farm and tell him to invest in education. Probably his interest will be in agriculture. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Get more farming too.
So this is very, very, very important. If education has not formed you as a person, you have not experienced it, you have not had these travel experiences, you have not gone through different facets and aspects of being educated. I don't mean just being in a classroom. There is this going to school and letting the school pass through you. You have seen it, you have been there, you have seen the impact of education. It is hard for somebody to come and tell you to drive it. So we all have our share. While we are blaming the government and we are saying you people have not done enough in investing in education, the budget for education is very low, we should also blame ourselves because I don't know what it is when we look at selecting our leaders from local government level to national level. These things are very important.
Select us these days. We don't select them anymore.
Anyway, I'll select the questions if you guys will allow me to. Let's look at it because you raised something that seems to be really important. And the blame should naturally come to us. And this is a question to both of you. Do you feel the value, our moral value has also changed? Hence, that's where we are now. Because let's look at it. If, for example, we're doing a reality show,
yes, the
number of persons that will listen and watch that reality show is quite amazing. But we just had an international competition on schools and mathematics, and nobody even mentioned it. And we even see governors giving celebrity shows or reality shows winner extra cars and homes and money, undermining the 120 million they've won. But we've never seen governors and government, even the society, praising a people that had all straight A's either in their WAEC. So do you feel it's more of a society thing? And we've now changed our values. We've now seen where we need to place more value at, with people kissing and being immoral on TV rather than children dealing with the rudiments of actually learning.
My career, proud before now, we used to have house sport competitions in schools. We have inter-school quiz competitions. We go then to the media house. They do debate. I went to Nana College then as a student. We went for debate. For if public school is better than private schools, we did a constructive debate at that time.
Yeah, well, that was the
first prize. Then it was Topcon, Chevron, and Agif that sponsoring this program. So you go home with a bounty. The winner goes home with the bounty. We come to school. We have celebrated, and operas will tell you those ones going to there. I don't know your mate. Read this book, my friend. If you don't, your parents will give you task.
But now we see children dressing like reality shows. Anyway, just go ahead.
Look, there's a lacuna. There's a lacuna that now came in between the system, whereby you will not see a teacher or a graduate, for example. See this guy when he did school now brain for mass, so he is dissolve any kind of mass. So you can't see who they dissolve mass. Don't do house for 4 years. No
or
job.
They ride keke.
Or driving tricycle, no job. Then a counselor who just came in, 480 a month. Zoom, Benz. Zoom, Jeep. Zoom, 2 mobile police escorting him. You as a child growing in that community, who will you affiliate more to? Now here the thing do, and this politician side the thing do. And the third party is the lavish money. Down I believe they say they graduate, who you help. Now that's why we started losing it. Because one, the system failure also has affected it also. Because what if teachers are well paid, like I went to the FC office last month. My God, if you see where FC officials are dressed, you know that these guys are well paid. The lowest shoe I could see on somebody's leg was like 480,000 naira. That's what was ready to work. They work with pride. You see them, they come to their office with pride, like they do their job diligently well.
But that cannot be said of our teachers. That's
what I'm telling you. Using an iPhone 12 being given to them by their commission to use to work. How many teachers do have laptop? Sometimes come and beg you as a young boy, beg me your laptop because they do small research when I want to go to school.
Mrs. Uju, society change. How did we get there?
I'd love to look at it from the angle of the byproduct of development, westernization, right? As we are developing.
But they are developing and increasing themselves when it comes to
social media
values.
Absolutely.
And they are progressing, and some new inventions will even make you breathless. But how come we're now looking at the other side, entertainment and, well, come on.
It's just it. While we had the break, I was just conversing with Comrade, and I was telling him that I would sometimes I just see this as corruption in the Nigerian DNA. Nigerians, our DNA, we are just
that's a very strong statement.
In the Nigerian DNA, there's just a way. Every time we have to look at any issue, the first thing a Nigerian will say, or I think an African actually, what's in it for me? You understand? What's in this thing for me? Before thinking of, are we solving problem? What's my own share in this? That's the way the Nigerian mindset. So I know that the government has a role to play in all of these things, but we have, as citizens, we have a larger role in all of this. I'd like to look at it that way. So when you say society, we focus on entertainment and all that, westernization, modernization, there's been a lot of exposure, entertainment, there's money in entertainment. Even parents will push their children. Go, are you not seeing your mates? Your mates are driving GLK, I don't know these cars, Why are you not? Some parents even encourage their children. You go and press your own laptop and make the money. You understand? 16-year-olds. You see some of these 16-year-old girls following all of these boys. Some parents are actually encouraging their children to go on this. So I don't know that, that's why I say the corruption in the Nigerian DNA, this mindset of what is in it for me, I want my share of the...
This brings me to even the crux of our main discussion, and we're talking about discipline and morals and bringing it back. Now, I'd rather start with you, Mrs. Uju. There's this recent feeling that we seem to have lost it when it comes to discipline in our schools, and it's a direct result of what we're seeing now. Would you put the blames on the schools not having that strong grip? Because I've had the opportunity of talking to also a proprietress, and she tells me that you don't discipline the children these days. So if you do, their parents will come and take them away from your school and to another school. So sometimes just pretend you do not see it. Is that the case as it stands? And should schools and rather teachers be blamed for this? Decaying morals.
When you talk about moral decadence now, like, today's Teachers' Day, we are celebrating teachers all over the world and for the amazing work they do in their classrooms, in bringing up the children. The honest truth is that we are all teachers. Do you understand? Whether you are a professional teacher, you are sitting in the classroom to teach every day, or you are just a parent, you are a taxi driver, whatever it is, we are all teaching, whether formally or informally. So it's actually everybody's day. We are celebrating ourselves. And as a parent, you are your child's first teacher. You can actually change your child's school if you're not pleased with the services you're getting there. You can change your child's teacher. You can change schools. But you cannot change a child's parent. You are a constant in that child's life. You understand? You will always be there. Your child carries your DNA. Your child is a part of you, whether you're here or you're gone. So if your child fails in terms of morals, all fingers should point to you first. Like I said, you can change your child's teacher at any time. You can change schools if you're not happy about it. But if anything happens 10, 5 years, 2 years down the line, that teacher will no longer be in that child's life. If you're a present parent, I know we understand that we're all chasing money, we want to make money and all that. But it is very important that as busy as we are as parents, you have to be present for your child. You understand? And that is why I always will say, have as much children that you can have the time for. If you know you will not be available to give your children the attention and all that, have the one you know you can be there for as a parent. So that you can be able to account for these children. If your child is failing in school, or your child is not meeting up with the academic, or you notice one thing, it's only a present parent that will see these things. If you're not observant, if you're not present. When I say you're being a present parent, I mean a parent that checks, a parent that supervises, a parent that asks questions. I don't know how the timeline works for you. It could be a daily thing, it could be a weekly thing, but you have to create that time for your child. So moral decadence, we'll talk about the decay in morals today. I point to the parents first, right? These schools, when a school owner is telling you, we can't discipline children today, they are in business. It's a private school. They are running a business. You understand? They have their business. And like I said, the Nigerian mindset, the Nigerian man will say, what's in it for me first? I said that earlier, right? So you look at it from that angle. I know that there's a part that the schools have to play when it comes to discipline. Yeah. Even today, I'm an administrator and I see these things every day. Sometimes you shout at a child, you punish a child for something not done properly. The parents come for you. No, what I sent my child here is for you to educate the child. Leave the child, let me discipline the child. And then that child turns out 15, 10 years from from today going the wrong way, and you blame the schools. You didn't, when we wanted to enforce what we wanted to enforce, you refused. And then as private entities, like I said, these people are running businesses. They have staff to pay. They have obligations to meet. So it's parents at the end of the day. If anything goes wrong, it is the parents that is to blame.
Comrade Jomodo, yes. You share in our belief?
No, I disagree. To some extent. Growing up as a young teenager, then in Nana College, we have a teacher they call Mr. Ikolo. Everyone knows him. The guy is the most
brutal,
disciplined teacher.
Makes me remember my Uncle Victor too. Go ahead.
He waits for you at the school gate. As you are coming in, you are late. He don't even tell you. You just kneel down there and be waiting for him. He's as vigilant as, I don't know how he does it. The fear of Mr. Ikola, Mr. Ikpepe, makes you to want to go to school on time. Like you don't want to see their face. Even if you are coming through, there's what we call jam bus. We go and pass through the fence to jump to the school so that he won't know. From where he is, he will tell you kneel down there. At that point, you kneel down under the sun for like 10 minutes. You will now give you a bucket. You now fetch water in the school lavatory. Fill the drums there before you now come to class and learn. At that point, the next day, I tell you, 7 a.m. you are in school. It makes sure when lecture is going, when teaching is going on, you are not seen outside. It goes round. I don't know how that man does it. For the passion of the job, it goes round. Mr. Ikola, Mr. Ikpepe, Nana College. My own principal too when I was in Christ International School. Mr. Policy.
But Comrade Jomodo, because of time, don't you feel because parents were able to take those discipline from the teachers, that's why it was then? Now parents will tell Mr. to choke himself if he tries
So
to
why would you
discipline
send my child to fetch water from a well?
No, today we still have some teachers that pull that strength of discipline in schools. Now the thing is, most of the teachers today, they do not have the passion for the job they are doing. They see a child going the other way.
Is it all about passion?
Yeah, yes, but like me, I can't see an operation and look the other way. If I'm driving,
I know you're on that, but I also seen situation where I went to pick my children from school, and the parent was warning the life of the teacher. Serious warning. Even the warning, I doubt if
I've arrested one that also flogged. They flogged the child in school. She went with her sisters. They bought cane, flogged the teacher, and when we got there, we arrested her.
Okay, now, Comrade Dejemondo, I'll plead with you because of time. We'll continue our discussion just as much as you, Mrs. Uju. That we need to go on a break now, but when we come back, we'll still talk more. Centered on the celebrate. We need to celebrate, but as much as we're celebrating, we should also look at the issue of our children, because they're the very reasons we do what we do, and the teachers also being celebrated. Let's go on a break.